This video is presented by Western and Southern Financial Group, a game plan for your financial future. Every great team starts with a strong foundation, and your future should too. With life insurance built like a championship roster, Western and Southern helps protect what matters most, so you can focus on winning today while planning for tomorrow. Whether you're just starting your journey, building your dynasty, or ready to retire like a champion, Western and Southern has the right play for your life stage. Visit westernsouthern.com to get your free life insurance quote today. Western and Southern, built to win. Next up, the number 3 seed, the Georgia Bulldogs, coached, of course, by Kirby Smart, 12-1 in the year. They won the SEC championship. I love that picture of Kirby Smart that Eli always uses in every single graphic that we have. I think it's an awesome picture of Kirby Smart. Obviously, you can see a very well-rounded team right there. Top 25 in offensive grade, top 35 in defensive grade, so top 25 in EPA per play, and top 35 in EPA per play in defense too. For Georgia, their path to the national title game, they also have a bye in the first round. In the quarterfinal, they will either have a rematch with Ole Miss, or they will play Tulane. That will be in the Sugar Bowl. If they win that game, they move on to the semifinal to take on either Ohio State or Texas A&M/Miami. Whoever wins that game in the first round, that will be in the Fiesta Bowl. And honestly, Dalton, business as usual for Kirby Smart and the Bulldogs this year. They won the SEC championship for the second year in a row and the third time in the last 4 years. In that SEC title game, Georgia avenged their only loss of the year, which was an early regular season loss to Alabama. They blew out Alabama in that SEC title game by a 28-7 final score. If you take out the COVID-shortened 2020 season, Georgia has won at least 11 games in 8 years in a row. It's a very consistent program right now, and like all teams coached by Kirby Smart, this team is built through the trenches with their run defense and an elite offensive line too, a really good run game, and Gunnar Stockton has been honestly a lot better than we expected him to be as their quarterback right now. So kind of just same as usual for Kirby Smart and the Bulldogs right now.
They're Georgia. As long as Kirby Smart's there, they're not going away. They obviously recruit at an elite level. And I think, before we get into the actual biggest strength in the football sense here, I think the biggest strength of this team really for Kirby Smart is they just know their identity. You never get a week where Georgia plays outside of their identity, right? It's great defense. It's incredible scheming on that side of the ball from Kirby Smart and from Glenn Schumann. It's the offense just understanding what they need to do to play complementary football. If we're in an ugly defensive game, fine, don't turn the ball over. If we have to get in a shootout and push the ball downfield with Gunnar Stockton like the Tennessee game, then we'll do that. And we will just do what's necessary to win ball games. It's the most like, what we're used to seeing from the Kansas City Chiefs or what we used to see from Tom Brady and the New England Patriots. We don't care how it looks. We just care that we have more points than the other team at the end of the day, whether that's 17-10 or whether it's 41-38. We're going to find a way to win a ball game, and that's just what we do every single week, and they're just so consistent in their identity.
So what is the biggest strength of this Georgia team right now?
So in a football sense, what I would pick out, because I think it's the first domino that sets things up for the rest of their team, their run defense, it's just incredible, right? You got Kristen Miller and those guys on the defensive line. You've got C.J. Allen at the linebacker level. This is as good a group of tackling defensive backs in the country, with guys like KJ Bolden and Dalen Everett being willing to step up in run support. Only 3.4 yards per carry allowed this entire season. Ridiculous stuff. 5th in the FBS in run defense grade. You just look at the team effort that this takes, and what does it set up, right? You have an elite run defense. You put teams behind the chains. You get them in 2nd and 3rd and 8. You get the blitz packages going and the man-to-man coverage going. You shut teams down. You get the ball back to your offense. They play ball control offense. But this is really, to me, where it starts, is in this front 7 with their run defense that just does not allow you to get in good down and distance situations on early downs.
So as good as they are in run defense, though, this front 7 is really struggled in pass rushing right now, too. 62.1 pass rush grade, 125th in the country right now. And when they don't blitz Dalton, Georgia has a 23% pressure rate. That's 118th in college football. So Georgia has been, I know that they blitz a lot no matter what, but they've been forced into a lot more blitz packages than they usually do with Glenn Schumann and Kirby Smart, because they don't have much of a pass rush right now. And when you blitz that often, you kind of leave your secondary on an island. And it's a secondary that's very talented, yes, but it's kind of been up and down in some games this year too. So you're kind of putting even more pressure on your secondary to succeed with really how bad Georgia's pass rush has been this season.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I think it's going to be the biggest question for them, especially if we do get to a semifinal matchup with them and Ohio State, right? You talk about those two Ohio State receivers on the outside, and you have great corners, right? You have Dalen Everett, you have Ellis Robinson out there, and you have a great group of safeties as well. But what happens? How long can they go being unable to get home to quarterbacks with just a four-man rush, right? You can't blitz 100%. I mean, you could try. You already got it up over 60% against Ty Simpson and Alabama, and he couldn't beat it. How long can Georgia go being so blitz-heavy?
Yeah.
How long can they rely on those corners to play in man-to-man coverage as often as they have to in these blitz packages? To me, that's going to be the biggest question. Now, I do think they get pretty favorable matchup one way or the other against either an Ole Miss team that they already beat or a Tulane team that they would obviously be very heavily favored against, but that's going to be the big question. Can Georgia's defensive line, if they are forced at some point to sit back in coverage, can that front four get any pressure? Because that's the one thing they really haven't done well all year.
So tell me more about Gunnar Stockton, who honestly, Dalton, has proven us wrong, proven a lot of people wrong going into the year. A guy that we thought would be a solid quarterback for Georgia going into the year, but he's been honestly one of the better quarterbacks in college football.
He has, and I think he's gotten better as the season's gone on. We have to remember, even last year, he had, two career starts? Was it? Or one career start, just the Notre Dame game?
Yep.
I mean, you're talking about a guy who, he's fresh, right? We talk about a lot of these other younger quarterbacks, first-year starters, right? Or Dante Moore at Oregon, first year starting at Oregon, Julian Sand, redshirt freshman. But Stockton was relatively new also. In his first 5 games, I think they were really breaking him in. A 70.5 passing grade in his first 5 games. It was very conservative, 6.5-yard average depth of targets, very low. But then you started to see it. The Tennessee game is when you really started to see it. He starts throwing downfield and shows the ability that he can threaten defenses vertically, and it's been great ever since that. His last 8 games, Max, he's got an 85 passing grade, 6th best among Power 4 quarterbacks in that stretch. He's safe with the football. Maybe he's not the most accurate quarterback in the country, but he understands, again, what he needs to do to win games with his arm and with his legs. And you talk about Georgia being so good with the blitz on the defensive side. Gunnar Stockton's been really good against the blitz all year. On the offensive side of the ball, 87.7 passing grade against the blitz, 9th best in the country. You're not going to rattle him. I will give him that much. Sometimes, the delivery, the accuracy is a little bit off. Sometimes it looks a little bit gutsy and we get into low-scoring games. You saw that against Georgia Tech a few weeks ago, but you are not going to rattle Gunnar Stockton, and he understands what he needs to do and what Kirby Smart wants him to do to win football games.
I think it's a great way to put it right there, is that he pretty much knows what he needs to do to win football games. Whether he needs to be a flamethrower like he was against Tennessee to win that ball game in a shootout, he could do that. Whether it be in the conference title game against Alabama, where he was just played really solid, consistent football that entire game without really pushing it much downfield at all, he could do that too. So I think Gunnar Stockton is very aware of what is needed from him to win football games, and he's been outstanding at just doing his job right now, which is honestly all that Kirby Smart wants in a quarterback. I want to talk more about Nate Frasier, though, the running back, which has really helped out Gunnar Stockton in making sure that Georgia's offense isn't too reliant on Gunnar Stockton to carry it right now. And Nate Frasier, only a true sophomore, he has been one of the better running backs right now in college football. 89.9 PFF grade, is second in the SEC, behind only Ahmad Hardy from Missouri, who of course is a Doak Walker Award finalist and one of the best running backs we have right now in the sport. 36 forced missed tackles are also 4th in the SEC too. Nate Frasier is a very, very physical running back who can bowl over defenders. And like I said before, he has been critical in making sure that Georgia has a very good run game to complement a very good quarterback in Gunnar Stockton.
They always want to run the football, right? And the biggest thing for Georgia on offense, regardless of how they go about it, in most games this year, stay on schedule. Right, you saw that in the Alabama game too. Just stay on schedule, control the clock, and Nate Frasier is a big reason for that. The sophomore running back, obviously really good vision. You mentioned a very physical runner, creating yards after contact and just keeping the chains moving. I think that's the big thing with this Georgia run game. And even the pass game most weeks in general, that's what they want to do. Keep the chains moving, control the pace of the game. Frasier does a really good job of it.
Our guy Drake Holiday in the chat, Dalton, saying KJ Bolden is going to be really high in his preseason safety rankings for next year's draft class because he has been terrific in his 2 years so far of college football.
I was just going to say, KJ Bolden, that's our defensive player spotlight here. And I was just going to say, I know you're nowhere near doing the top 10 positions rankings for next year yet, next year's college season. He might be number one on the safety list.
He probably will be.
I mean, you talk about a natural successor to Malachi Starks there, the former first-round pick, now Baltimore Raven. He does all the same things Starks does, man. He can line up anywhere. He's one of the best tacklers in the country. He knows where to be in coverage. He's getting even more knowledgeable of that. And then you talk about, again, how good this run defense is, right? And it's great, obviously, with the D-line. C.J. Allen and those linebackers are really good. But to have KJ Bolden as the extra guy that can step down and run defense does not get any better than that. I mean, this guy is an absolute freak. He's fourth among Power 4 safeties in run defense grade. He can do it all. I mean, that's really the thing. You really do. That's the best way that I can put it. When I watch him play, I just go, there's Malachi Starks again. He just does everything for this defense. He's the glue that holds that secondary together, and he's a problem. You have to know where he is on every play, and you're right. He might enter next season as the number one safety in college football.
Probably will be. Honestly, again, only a 4% missed tackle rate this year. This guy does not miss any tackles out there. Also has 2 picks, 5 pass breakups, only a 47 passer rating when targeted. He could do whatever you need him to do for that Georgia defense. He has been phenomenal last year as a true freshman, even better this year, honestly, as a sophomore. Dalton, what is the bottom line for the Georgia Bulldogs? I think Drake Holiday was saying he thinks Georgia could win the whole thing this year. What do you think the Bulldogs' ceiling is right now?
They can win the whole thing. Any game where they get to play their style of football and control the pace that they do with running and stopping the run first and foremost, they can win. Their defense gives them a shot, and I think that's the fun part about this entire playoff field. I know I've said it before. We're going to continue to talk about it. I think you've got all of the best defenses in college football in this playoff, right? And Georgia is right up there on that list. Their defense is getting better and better. And is it now, 4 straight games where they've given up 10 points or less?
Yeah, let me check that.
They're playing their best football down the stretch. Their defense, if your defense can play with Ohio State, with Indiana, with these other teams near the top, yeah, you can win any given football game. They're definitely a national title contender.
Yeah, they give up 10 points against Texas, 3 points against Charlotte, 9 against Georgia Tech, and 7 against Alabama. That's Kirby Smart football right there.
It is. It is, and their offense complements it so well. And Kirby Smart, more than any other coach in the country, understands that, hey, it's one game at a time. He's been here before. He's been in these spots, these playoff spots a million times. He's won national championships. One game at a time. We don't worry about the rest of the season that's already happened. We don't worry about next week, whoever they have to play, whether it's Ole Miss or Tulane in that first game. It's right here, right now, 60 minutes to prove we're the better team. You have to take that mentality into scenarios like this, and he does it better than anybody.
Yeah, they play their game like Dalton said. They have a great defense. They have a really good quarterback in Gunnar Stockton, a really good run game, a really good offensive line, a good receiving core too. It's hard to find too many weaknesses on Georgia right now. If they play their game, they can beat anyone in the country, including Indiana, including Ohio State too. Georgia is absolutely a contender to bring home a national title, which would be their 3rd national title in the last 5 years.
Everyone's got takes. Numbers have truth. And the truth is, most people are betting with emotion. Sportsbooks feed on it. TikTok gurus sell it. The hype machine runs on it. That's how you lose. PFF is different. You're betting with winning data. The same data trusted by all 32 NFL teams and the sharpest minds in the game. PFF betting tools take every prop, every matchup, every angle, and run them through our custom models. Built on the best football data in the world. What comes back is your edge. Simple, sharp, and built to win. Want to go deeper? PFF puts a pro-level analytics department in your hands, giving you the same insights teams use to find every advantage. Build your game plan with matchup analysis. Project every snap, every matchup, and every edge before kickoff. Because the smartest plays start long before Sunday. Hit rates show how a player performs against their prop and against defenses built the same way. It's the data that gives you real confidence in every pick. Next, Key Insights translates PFF data into the story behind every matchup, giving you the why that powers your bets. From coverage schemes to defensive looks, it's the context that turns raw numbers into winning decisions. When you're ready to take action, filter through every prop on the market and focus on the opportunities that matter, by game, matchup, or value. Then, shop for the best available line in your area and tap your book of choice to place the bet instantly. Everyone's got takes, but now you've got truth. Bet with data, win with PFF.